My dear Aquarius, welcome back. Now I have another video for you. This video is going to be about your love life for the rest of January. I'm going to do singles first, and then I'm going to do people who are in a relationship of any kind. So the first one we have here, pile number 1. This is our Danbarite pile. This here is actually this is pile number 2. And we have a new crystal. I bought this for myself for my birthday. This is called the Age of Aquarius crystal. Isn't that pretty? I had never seen anything like that before. So that's our pile number 2. You get the new crystal. And pile number 3, you get another one of my favorites, the Mermaid crystal. So pick your pile. Are you pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3? Single or coupled up. So let's start with the single people in pile 1. So if you're in pile 1 and you're single, you got the Page of Sides. This is a very interesting card for a single person to get, because what this card is saying is that you're ready. You're ready like Tevin. The Page of Sides is ready. You may not feel ready, but you are ready. You're ready for a relationship. And this doesn't mean you're going to meet somebody tomorrow. This is about the process, as you're getting ready to see, of meeting someone. So this is saying that you're ready to start the steps. You're ready to decide what you want. You're ready to, and some of you may have already done this part. So some of you may be more ready than others. So some of you may be ready to get started, and some of you may be ready for it to happen. It's going to be one or the other. So you're going to be ready. Like I say, ready like Tevin. Tevin Campbell has a song called I'm Ready. It's an old song, but that's how ready you are. Singles in pile number 1. Now, I said I was going to say there's a little bit more to it, because you're ready and you have to do your manifestation work. So for those of you who are still deciding exactly what you want, that's part of the manifestation process, figuring out what you want exactly. So I want to be with somebody who is open to traveling. I want to be with somebody who doesn't have children. I want to be with somebody who is open to love and new experiences. So you have to figure out exactly what you want. And for those of you who know what you want, you need to continue to use the law of attraction and manifestation and intention work to get what you want. So you should have a vision board of, you know, the relationship that you want. Maybe pictures of you and a model. Like, this is the person I want them to look something like this. And you at different places, you know. So you might want to do a vision board. You might want to have an affirmation for this person. You want to do all kind of different things, you know, being grateful, getting ready for this person, preparing yourself to be a partner. Are you good at communication? Are you good at being a partner? If you want to manifest a partner, that's the first step, is being ready to be a good partner. So it's different forms of manifestation for those of you who are single, and to get consistent with it and serious about it. As you can see, all the cards I'm using are about food. This is my food segment. I thought that would be cute. Number 3, let's see. All right, so also singles in pile number 1. It says that you're going to have to sacrifice for the one you love. So in some cases, for example, you may need to move. Maybe the person that you love is across the country. Maybe you have to leave a job that you really enjoy to spend time with this person. You know, there are a number of different factors that could potentially go into that vibration. So this one here is telling you that it's really, really important for you to think about that. Are you willing to sacrifice to be in a relationship? And I'm not talking about sacrificing on a level of giving up your unhappiness, you know, or giving up the things that you want, or being with somebody who, you know, just isn't right for you. I'm not talking about that kind of sacrifice. That would be wrong, actually. I'm talking about, are you willing to change? Like, maybe, for example, you have bad habits. Are you willing to change for this individual? Maybe you're a player, you know, maybe you're out there dating different men, dating different women, which is fine if you're single. And are you willing, this person wants to be monogamous, are you willing to give that up? So this card is saying that for many of you, you will need to sacrifice something. Now my couples in pile number 1. Let's see what you got going on, couples. Well, couples, some of you got some issues going on. This card, the cast iron one, I don't know if you guys know, but sometimes people will hit you with one of these. This is a card about knocking the smack out of somebody. So some of you guys have some real issues going on in your relationship. And of course, I do not condone or recommend fighting physically or verbally, because this could be either or. What I do recommend is sitting down and talking. So many of you need better communication with this card. Some of you need a professional. Some of you are going to need a mediator or a therapist, a couples counseling session, something like that. But this card is about, you know, working on talking your way through your problems. A lot of times when you get this card, you've had problems for a while, though. You know, some of you, they might have just started in the past few days or weeks, and other people, it's been going on for quite some time. So resentment has built up between one or both people. So this card is about talking through, working through those resentments, and not being afraid to get a professional if you need that. A lot of people are afraid to go to therapy. They're afraid to go to couples counseling. They don't want people in their business. Meanwhile, your ship is sinking. You know, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you see, you identify that there are some real problems, don't just sit there, because I've seen my clients do this before, and I've had, like, let's say the man or the woman didn't want to go, or both of them didn't want to go to couples counseling, and I've seen them just sit there and the ship sink. Literally, the relationship just deteriorated right before my very eyes. You have to do something, and if you don't do something, eventually it's inevitable that it's going to fall apart. Some couples just stay with each other with this kind of uncomfortable tension between them for years. There's a lot of different things that happens with it, but if you're in pile number 1, the biggest part of this, if it's a severe problem or even a small problem, the only thing you really need to do is start to talk about it and work on it. All right, let me see. Couples, it says here that you really need to spend time spoiling each other. Ooh, I like this. So talking, this would be so nice. Maybe you guys could go away or something and just like talk to each other, spoil each other. And the spoiling is buying each other things, but it doesn't have to just be that. It can be rubbing each other's feet, taking baths together. I remember one time I was with this person and they were washing my hair. We were in the shower together. You know how shower time usually ends up being sexual? Well, this time they were like washing my hair and caressing my back, and it ended up being sexual later. But at that moment, it was more like, just a spoiling, of my body and my person. You need to do some of this. You both need to do this with and for each other. This would be very sweet. And then you have the fusion card. This card is saying that you have to put your differences aside and come together. Compromise where you can compromise, both of you, not just one of you. So, for example, if you want to go to Rome and they want to go to Antarctica, maybe you compromise and go to London. Something like that. And it's also about bringing together things. So maybe you bring something to the table that they don't bring. So bring your own gifts and like kind of blend them together. That's the idea of fusion, is coming together, balancing things out, forgiving each other. And this comes up too with your other card, that concept of forgiveness and compassion for each other. So you can spoil each other, so you can make things right again, so you can blend. So all is not lost unless you allow it to be. All right, now we're going to go to 2. Let's see. So for my single people, you're first in pile number 2. You have, what is that card? Oh, you have the Ace of Pentacles. This is good. The Ace of Mains, this one is called. So when you have the Ace of Mains, this is saying that your love life, no matter where it is right now, can become more successful. They're going to tell us how to make your love life more successful in the next 2 cards. So this one is saying for some of you it already is successful. Some of you are already dating, enjoying yourself and having a good time. That's great. But there's also some of you who have not been. So the energy of this new year is going to be shifting that. You might meet a new person, or you may have, a person from the past come back. Maybe you've been single for a little while. So maybe something works out here is what they're talking about. And that's a very positive energy. So you should see a change in your success or continued success for those of you who are single in pile number 2. Now, in order to make those of you more successful that want to be, this card is talking about your scars. This is saying that some of you, your love life is being blocked by the scars from the past. So some of us need to let that shit go. You need to work on letting go. So if you want to be more successful in your love life, let go of the scars. And that's not an easy thing. You can't just say, oh, okay, I'll let them go. That's cool. I don't need them anymore. It's not an easy thing. You have to work through them. You have to heal them. You have to talk through them. You may need to see somebody. You may need to do some creative projects. You have to work through the scars from the past. And these scars come up with any relationships you've had with people, especially romantic, but also your parents or caregivers and family members. Those scars affect your relationships with other people. So if you had a bad relationship with your mother or your father, it might make it hard for you to attach to your mate or even to your children, depending upon the situation. So you really, if you're in this pile and you're single, look at your scars, look at healing them, look at self-help books, look at doing any kind of emotional, therapeutic, spiritual kind of things that you are into. You can use, rose quartz is good for healing of the heart chakra. And also another one is good for healing of the heart chakra is, what is it called? Green aventurine. Green aventurine is great for healing the heart chakra. So those kind of things could be awesome for you. And as a matter of fact, I did not light our candle. So just for you guys in pile number 2, who need a little extra boost, I'm going to light up our rose quartz candle. There we go. So those scars are going, I'm not going to say the scars themselves, but the healing of the scars is what's going to help in this situation. And my singles in pile number 2, this will lead you potentially to taking vows. This is very interesting to me because it means that if you do the healing work, that the success that you end up with for many of you could be an actual marriage. It could be a formal marriage. It could be a marriage where you just take, some people do these like spiritual marriages where they don't get legally married, but they take like vows with the other person. Some people don't do either one of them, but they live together and do a long-term partnership kind of thing. It's all kind of things along those lines people do. So this is saying that you and this person, that you either draw to you, during this process or have drawn to you during this process may actually get married, may make, really make a go of it. Now we're going to go to my couples in pile 2. Couples in pile 2, you got this one. This card is, interesting. Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't know why this is, but for some reason, my couples are having some real issues. My couples are really having issues. Some of you are having a real major issue. Some of you is loss, disappointment, or sorrow. So that's what this indicates. So for some of you, you may have broken up with somebody. You may be in a relationship with somebody who has disappointed you. It could be some type, they could have passed away. They could have just, went with another person. They could have been unfaithful. It could be something small, like they hurt your feelings or forgot your birthday, or you asked them to get something from the market and they came home without it. It could be something very small, or it could be something much bigger. So it depends on the situation. But this card is telling us that many of you are feeling some feelings of hurt, on different levels. And in a relationship, it could be one or it could be both of you. You both could have hurt each other. Now, for some of you in relationships, that hurt is coming from gossip. So maybe your significant other has spread your business. You know, they done told their mama and them about something that happened between y'all, and now it done set off. You know, something like that could have happened. Or you could have heard something about your significant other. Maybe somebody came and told you your girlfriend was down on Front Street with a new dude. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Be really careful with that, because sometimes people lie to you just to break you and your person up. Sometimes they're telling the truth, and sometimes they just want that person, so they trying to get you to leave that person alone. So you really need to verify the gossip. If somebody is gossiping to you about your significant other, verify it before you just be like, oh, okay, this person for the streets. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, because a lot of people will lie to you. And if it's you, do not gossip about your relationship to other people. Seriously. It's one thing if you talk to your pastor, you talk to your spiritual, you know, your reader, you talk to, you know, your mama or something like that. That's one thing. But it has to be a person that's not going to be messy with the business. So if your mama going to call everybody in the family and tell them that your dude stepped out, don't tell her. Go talk to somebody who will keep your confidence. And also for my couples, your last card here, your dessert, is get to know each other, you know. Now, mind you, you might be thinking to yourself, we do know each other. We're a couple. Yeah, but you know something I've come to find is from talking to couples and from doing readings, a lot of couples don't know each other. People tell me things they've never told their significant other. And I'm sitting there shocked. I'm like, what? You never told that person that? And they've been together 5, 6, 7, 15, 20 years. And you've never told them? I remember somebody was telling me about being assaulted. And she never told her husband because she thought he would think less of her. And I don't think he would have. He was a really nice guy. But that was just her fear. So this card is telling you to spend some time really talking to the one that you care about. Spend time talking to them. And like, if remember they talked about the loss, the disappointments, the sorrows, talk about it. You know, talk about the hurt and talk about, you know, how you can make it better. Because one thing I've seen with people that astonishes me, in most cases when you hurt somebody, even if it's an accident, all you really got to do is apologize, sincerely apologize, and change your behavior. So find out from talking to them and getting to know them what you can do, what they want you to do. Don't just give up and be like, F it, I messed up. No, don't do that. If you really care about them, ask them, talk to them, get to know what really makes them tick. All right, that was my awesome pile number 2. All right, Aquarius, now we're going into pile number 3, singles. All right, so my singles, you got the sparkler card. Let me see, what's that one? 8. All right, so let's see for this one. Singles, this card is telling us that you're moving on. So whatever, and this is an emotion card. So whatever it was, wherever you were emotionally, either you already are moving on or it's time to move on. You're going to get one or the other with this. So this card for singles is saying that it's time for you to move on to the next phase. So if you're somebody who's been stuck for a long time in some type of like hurt or bitterness or something like that, it's time to move on. And it's time to do what you got to do to move on. Because remember, you can't just say, oh, I'm done, I'm moving on. So this card is talking about either you already are moving on or it's time to. And if you can't move on, if you're having a hard time, then you need to see somebody, talk to somebody that can help you move on. That's what this card is all about. And then other people, it looks like you've already moved on and you're ready to go on to the next thing, emotionally speaking. So that's what this whole vibration is about. You may have been holding yourself back, you may have been hurt or something like that. It's a number of reasons why a person will do this kind of thing. Some of the times it's a bad relationship. It's a number of different things. But for you guys, they told me a lot of it stems from the past and it goes back to childhood. So for some of you, it's going to go all the way back. So it's like, okay, it's not really so much a recent relationship for some of you, but it may have been somebody who like, let's say your first love broke your heart and you never got over it, or you did get over it and you did move on, but it's still something that hurts you. Or let's say that your mother was not, attentive or loving towards you, and now you have a hard time with that with your lovers. So it could be any of those kind of things when they talked about moving on emotionally. So for some of you, that what held you back may have been as far back as childhood. So they're telling you to allow yourself to heal from that and move forward. Because it looks like to me that this card is about uplifting the one you love. So this card is saying that you're going to need to lift your own vibration first, and you're going to be able to do that for the other person. So this card is all about raising the vibration through the healing process so you can uplift them and they can uplift you. So this is a good card because what it's telling us is that you're going to be able to inspire this person and vice versa. But first, the healing work has to be done. All right, for my coupled up Aquarius in pile number 3, you got this card right here, and it came up in the reverse. And this card, when it comes up in the reverse, means that your relationship right now, it's all about blending. It's all about coming together. It's all about reconciliation. So some of you have been broken up with this person and you might reconcile with this person. Some of you, it may have been a long time. You may have been broken up for months or years. And some of you may have just had a tiff and haven't spoken for the last couple of days. It really doesn't tell us the frequency in any of this, but it is about coming back together. Coming back together, healing something that has gone wrong, forgiving each other, talking your way through it. So you guys are more on the men side than the other couples. The other couples need to get where y'all are actually. Some of them were okay, had little small things going on, but this one is actually more of a bigger thing because even though this is a major arcana. So the major arcanas are bigger situations. So this could have been something that was a real big emotional problem for you. And it says here that, interestingly enough, you guys need to spend time with each other. The other couple needed to talk. You guys need to do some talking too, but y'all need to get away. Okay, y'all need to do a staycation together where y'all disconnect your phones, disconnect your computers, leave, automatic messages, and just spend time with each other, talking, laughing, going places. Maybe you guys do a staycation where you just stay at home, and maybe you do go to Atlantic City to take a little road trip or something like that. We used to always go to Atlantic City when I was in Philly, but it's other places, based upon where you live, a little road trip a couple hours away, or, a half a day's drive or something like that might be just what you guys need, because the cards are talking about the fact that you guys need to chill together by yourself. And that's why I said no cell phones, no children, no friends, none of that. Find somebody responsible, to take care of your pets and your kids and your plants, and just focus on that other person. Take a vacation from work and just focus on them. Focus on reconciling, making love, drinking wine, slow dragging on the porch, reading each other poetry. Just be into each other. Shut out the rest of the world and reconnect with one another. Chill with each other and just be together. Give that love to one another. So pile number 3, my couples, my Aquarius couples, that is your reading, your January love reading. And just take what resonates with you. If there are parts of this you don't want to do, or you can't do yet, or you're not interested in it this time, that's fine too. But take the parts that resonate with you. And remember, whatever you're going to do, work on it. Never stop working on your relationship. The couples I talk to that are the most loving and the most successful, they never stop working on their relationship. They never stop choosing each other. They never stop going out to eat. They never stop doing things together. They never stop holding hands. They never stop, making love, either, physically or, loving each other with their words. They give each other respect. They never stop, and they make mistakes. They are not perfect, but they never stop trying. Okay? So if you're in a relationship or not, effort, manifestation and effort are the two things I see make these relationships work. Okay? So if you're somebody who, loves somebody, or you want to love somebody, these are the steps, that these successful couples have taught me. So you guys come back soon, because I got a lot more to say. See you later.